How can understanding gut health give us better insight to improve our own personal health and well-being and manage stress? Stay tuned for this episode of Spirit Lift. Before we get started, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification down below so you'll be informed each and every time we upload a new episode related to topics such as spirituality, health, and well-being. In this episode of Spirit Lift, I have the pleasure of speaking with Geri Araus from Canada, who is a health nutritionist. And on this episode of Spirit Lift, if you're listening or you're watching, we are so honored to be able to speak to you, Geri, as it relates to the topic of our gut health, which I don't think as many people understand really how important this topic is in really having a good, improved sense of being overall, and also help with the longevity of maintaining good practice of health for your whole life. So, Geri, welcome to Spirit Lift.
Thank you, Devin, for having me. I'm really honored to be here.
Thank you so much, Geri. And as you can imagine, a lot of people are probably, unfortunately, still very stressed this year in 2021, as they were even beginning in 2020 during the pandemic. Caused heightened stress, heightened depression, heightened anxiety, and it's really taking a toll, honestly, on many people worldwide. It is a very discouraging way to live, and it's just not something that I think anyone can kick that easily, so to speak, right? And understanding really the health of the gut and what that means for overall body, I think is just absolutely imperative. So before we really get deeper into this topic, Geri, can you please give our viewers a little bit more insight of who you are, why you decided to get into this field to help others, and maybe your own personal story as it relates to this?
Absolutely. Thanks again for having me. So who I am is I'm a gut health nutritionist, certified holistic nutritional consultant. And sort of the background of my story is I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis at age 11, where I actually almost died from it. I was hospitalized. I had to get a blood transfusion. And yeah, I was in a big mess, my health, my gut, my intestines.
Can you explain what that is really quick, Geri, so our viewers and listeners understand?
Yeah, so it's just an inflammatory bowel disease. Basically, there's Crohn's, which affects the small intestine and certain different parts of the and colitis, more like the sigmoid colon and the lower, the larger intestine. So what happens is you get inflamed and potentially bleed, and you have and you get flare-ups, just inflammation overall in the intestines. Yeah. So I was diagnosed with that at the age of 11, and throughout my teen and early 20s, I was in and out of the hospital with flare-ups and being sick. It got to a point where I ended up seeing a naturopathic doctor who he changed my life forever. He helped heal my leaky gut, which is intestinal permeability in the small intestine. And basically, when I went to go see him, he had asked me to look at emotions, and he said that he could help me, but he's like, you're gonna have to also look at your emotions. And with that, I at that point, I wasn't where I am with my spirituality, where I am now. I didn't really understand what he was saying to me until maybe I'd say a little while later, the two connected. And for me, it was like the gut-brain connection, which the emotional piece goes so much further than anything, it's like the mindset of having a healthy gut and healing that part of you.
So Geri, I would like to ask you, why do you think that you were diagnosed with that condition at such a young age? What may have caused that, being so young?
Yeah, I think that for me, when I put two and two together, and after all the healing that I've done throughout my years, it goes back to like some of my childhood trauma. My parents had a very tumultuous, very unhealthy relationship. I feel that I sort of took on a lot of their stress and other sort of they were going through. I feel that I took on a lot of their emotions. So, which I feel, and all the stress that I feel, that's why I ended up getting sick and ended up in the hospital. It's a big part of why I think it happened to me. So, and then, fast forward to my late 20s was when I started doing the work, the emotional connection that I connected with the gut health and releasing those emotions and trapped emotions in the body. For me, I found that the more work that I did on releasing and healing that, my gut health and my colitis got better and better. And today, like, I'm medication free, and I have worked for about 20 years on my gut health. And today, to this day, I have very little to no gut health issues.
So how?
And I'm medication free.
No, that's incredible. And so how were you led, or what led you, especially like you said in your 20s, to have this kind of therapy of really transforming yourself? Was there someone that guided you? Did you find out about a program? How did you lead yourself to that situation?
I think for me, as I kept having my flare-ups and was in and out of the hospital, I was on medication, heavy-duty medication like prednisone, which is a steroid. I started to see that like I would get better, but then I'd get worse. Like it would never really got into remission and stable. So which is when I went to go see my naturopathic doctor. That changed my life forever, where he helped me heal my leaky gut and bring down all the inflammation and do all the healing on my gut. But then he introduced me to the emotional aspect, and then that sort of triggered me questioning that aspect. And I also went through a divorce in my mid-30s, where I also that also catapulted me into delving deeper into my emotions and doing more meditation. And that's where I went and took my Reiki master level at the university. So as I was doing my Reiki master, I was also healing my body, and those emotions were releasing, and sort of that was sort of like a domino effect: meditation, Reiki healing, and then healing my gut. So
are you saying that all these self-improvement tools and ways of changing yourself you did on your own volition without encouragement from anyone else or being guided by anyone else? You sought it out yourself?
Pretty much. Yeah, I did. I just started getting more interested in nutrition. And then it kind of started up with the guided meditation. Someone introduced me, so it wasn't just me. I guess certain people introduced me to guided meditation, which it snowballed into taking Reiki, and then doing. And after my divorce, after when I got divorced, I ended up doing a lot of life coaching and seeing psychologists and trying to delve deep into that trauma that had happened, and releasing a lot of that was really making me sick.
So, but I think that's incredible that you sought it out yourself, because I don't think a lot of people have the strength to do that. I mean, especially if they go through as in their adolescent age, as you were saying, trauma from the parents around them or family situation, then later divorce. A lot of people don't have the strength to do that. So, I mean, kudos to you for doing that. I mean, seeking these things out. So really quick, going back to gut health itself and issues related to the gut, why, it sounds like to me, these issues are because of our incumbent upon problems with emotional issues of situations or with people. Is that right? Or can it be related to something else?
Yeah, like a lot of research that's out there. There's a ton of research that's been done on the gut-brain connection on emotions, and a lot of people that have IBD and IBS. So there's that sort of link that's happening, right? And stress is a huge one for gut issues, and basically stress, what it does, it immobilizes your digestion like completely, so it like just stops everything, right? So stress is a big one that affects gut health.
Geri, so I'd like to ask you, could you, for our viewers and for our listeners, could you give a kind of comprehensive explanation on what gut health is and how it relates to our whole maintaining of our health in general?
Yeah, so basically gut health, like we have our microbiome that is basically an ecosystem, and in that microbiome ecosystem we have everything from bacteria to fungi to viruses to parasites. So it's all this whole ecosystem that lives sort of in a symbiotic form, and gut health is basically making sure that we keep it running smoothly. We have the right bacteria, the right, we're basically feeding it the right prebiotic fibers as well. In relation to basically the microbiome is the epicenter of our health. So everything starts from our gut. It does many functions in terms of like inflammation, cardiovascular health, hormone balance, and all of that. So it's just all connected.
And that's so, I mean, and this is why I think this conversation with you is so important, because it sounds like it's really, if I'm thinking of a tree, we're talking really about the roots of the tree that hold the whole tree up. I mean, this is like, if we don't get the gut health situation right, it's going to throw off our whole body. I mean, and that's going to affect us physically, emotionally, mentally. And so this is an absolute paramount topic of importance. So from me, understanding you so far, you had traumatic experiences in your life. It led you to find things that were very important in your life to become a way of self-reflection, self-discovery, self-transformation, to make yourself the best person you can be. I'm sure it was a lot of hard work. Absolutely. No doubt about that. And it just had to make you become the person that you are now. So Geri, please tell our viewers and our listeners, why are you dedicating your life right now to help other people with these issues, and why are you doing it in the manner that is, as you refer to, holistic? And what does that mean, holistic?
Absolutely. Why do I dedicate myself to this? Because of my experience of what I went through, and all the hard work that I did to get where I am today, being medication free, having very little to no there's been people really close to me that have suffered, and as I was studying, I wanted to really focus on mental health. But then when we were in, I think it was in my last year of school, they drilled into our heads that gut health is everything. Like, you kill two birds with one stone, they're connected. And then I just see how so many people suffer from these, I guess I want to say, illnesses that, like, I know from my own personal experience, what I've done, the work of what can help them. So all I want to do is just like share my knowledge of like how I got, how I'm medication free, and what I've done and what I do. So I just want to share that to the world, some people that are suffering, right?
That's incredible. And what does
Yeah.
it mean, your approach, as far as like a holistic,
Holistic
yeah,
nutritionist.
yeah.
For me, it's all about like aligning your mind, body, spirit, soul. It's aligning all those. So it's not just about eat these healthy foods and then go on your merry way. It's about taking care of the mindset, taking care of the spiritual aspect, taking care of the physical, like exercise. It's that whole holistic approach, lifestyle that encompasses like for you to have a whole vibrant, healthy body.
Out of curiosity, as it relates to just purely the intake in our body, meaning food, drink, what are generally, not, I mean, I'm sure there's several variants of ways you can combine things and do things in a fun way, nutritional way, etc. I need to probably learn about that more, as mine consists mainly of pizza and stuff like that. So I'm not sure I'm the best spokesperson for the gut, but but in general, what are just some main intakes that are generally good for our gut from the work you do?
Absolutely. I would most definitely say getting in like organic, live, raw, non-GMO foods, to eat as clean as possible, getting like an array of like an array of the color of the rainbow of different foods, a variety, because our gut health is an ecosystem that has many different bacteria. It's very diverse. You want to eat like a diverse diet full of like superfoods and greens and that are going to feed that gut bacteria, that are going to nourish it. So yeah.
And as raw as possible, you're saying?
I normally tend to have a plant-based diet, so I try to do like live raw foods, like not cooked so much. So it depends. I do a variety in my diet, but just like live, organic, and clean foods, superfoods, fuel your body, your gut.
And I can imagine probably like water, like drinking enough water, being hydrated throughout the day. Is that really important?
Oh yeah, water is super important. Having good quality, clean water. It definitely helps carry nutrients through to your body so you can absorb them, and also helps release toxins out of your body. It keeps you hydrated. We're like 70% water, right? So 70% or so water. So we need to be making sure we have clean water in our diet, right? So it also helps with suppressing the hunger hormone, ghrelin. So it keeps you full, helps you lose weight, helps you absorb nutrients. So very good for you. Yeah, it's really important.
I hope, at least with what I'm doing, that I have a yin and a yang, where it's like a smoothie in the morning and then pizza in the afternoon. I hope I'm doing I hope my approach is like a yin and a yang kind of thing, like a little bit of the bad, but a little bit of the good,
Like it's all about balance, really. Like I always tell my clients, 80% of the time, try to eat as healthy and clean as possible, and have a day where it's a cheat day, where you do eat the pizza, or you have something that you're going to like really enjoy, because that's part of balance. It's good for your mental health. It's really hard to sustain a really clean, healthy diet, like always, right? That's just like not doable. It's also, people fall off the wagon that way, and then they binge. But like if you know that you're eating a certain way 80% of the time, and you are able to have those cheat meals or that food that you love, that's healthy in itself as well.
So you don't recommend cheat meals?
You're good.
Night, right? Not every night though. Not cheat meals.
Not every night. No.
Okay. Right.
Not every night. No. Once in a while, right? And
once in a while. Okay, I got to make that.
Once in a while.
And so,
yeah,
that's as far as what we put in our body. Now, let's talk about what you do as far as Reiki, and maybe let's incorporate a little bit of meditation, right? Let's talk about really the energy of what we are. How important, if people either can't, especially in these times in 2021, have a particular session of Reiki in person, or at least, incorporate meditation, like how fundamental is that for our gut health and just our overall state of being?
I super crucial for our gut health. Being able to breathe and meditate, especially for me, one of my daily routines is definitely meditation and breathing, deep diaphragmatic breathing or box breathing, where because the gut is affected so much by stress, it mobilizes the gut. Like the breathing is crucial in terms of like it puts you from the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight. And when you start doing that breathing, it automatically pushes you into the parasympathetic, which is rest and digest. So that there, the gut is able to, be nourished, right? And you breathe and you do it's just amazing. It's very, very crucial. The meditation as well for mindset and anxiety, depression, very important.
What is your recommendation to people, and maybe this is in a way that you help people in general in your practice, but just as a very kind of general tip is, how do you recommend people if they just think meditations, because a lot of people think meditation is actually difficult, right? Just being
right.
able to not have a bunch of monsters eating at their patterns in their brain and just stealing their attention every single millisecond, right? What are just some, in your opinion, general tips to really make not only meditation integral day to day, but just, let's say, purely enjoyable, because people are not patient for meditation. So do you have a general insight or tip for people to kind of get into it naturally?
Yeah, one of the things that's really some people do find it hard and they can't focus or concentrate. Guided meditation is just brilliant because you're listening to someone while you're brushing your teeth and doing your daily routine. You can incorporate it like that, like a simple 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes at a time. Have it in the background, because subconsciously we're picking that up, right? You don't think you are, but you subconsciously are picking things up. The guided meditation has been fantastic for me. And then, but there's also binaural beats, which you tap into the delta, gamma, theta, beta waves. And you can listen. There's apps or YouTube that you can just listen for a couple 5 minutes or so, and in the background they have the gamma waves, the theta waves, and then it hits certain parts of your brain, so it stimulates different parts of your brain as you're listening to it. So that's another cool thing that people could do.
I think that's really, that's a good insight, and that's kind of how I started as well. As it related to meditation, I couldn't do it on my own right away. I think most people can't, because it's just not, going years and years and years without maybe either meditating or praying, or it's just not natural for us in these times, in these day and ages, to have to be in what some people refer to as the silence. People think, well, whatever your definition of God is, so some say, and even in Eastern culture, that God is in the silence, right? And I think, and that doesn't really mean anything other than it's purely an experience, and I've experienced it. There's a certain beauty when everything is just absent. I don't know, maybe I'm not making sense, but it's hard to put these things in words sometimes. If you've ever been in a state of meditation or just pure nothingness, no thing, no attachment, it's really bliss. And have you experienced that?
Absolutely. And you say being in nothingness, I say being present.
That's right.
It's being extremely present to your breath, to your thoughts, and being connected to whatever you want to call it, whether it's God or source or spirit.
Sure.
Tapping into that, because they say that energy cannot be created or destroyed. We're pure beings of energy. So you're tapping into universal energy, and you're tapping into that love or whatever you want to call it, and you're present, and that's just an amazing thing to be in.
And to be honest, Geri, I've maybe only experienced that personally, maybe only a couple times. And it's not easy. I like it. It's like, it's the most unforced way of being. And it's purely, like you're saying, and I completely concur with that sentiment, is just really a state of like total presentness that, and has no, like, there, it's hard to describe. It's like having no attachment to anything at all. And it's not easy achieving that state. I don't know why, but it's just not, I mean, but it's beautiful if you can, really. It's
our monkey brains.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like,
it's our, our brains are always going thoughts, and that's why it's hard to achieve that, right? But the more you practice, the more you get better at listening, being quiet, a lot of people don't want to be quiet with their thoughts, right? It's a scary thing too. So once you do a lot of work on yourself, you're doing more work in clearing those traumas, emotions, it gets easier after to be with yourself. In the beginning, it may be very painful and uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
People don't want to be there.
It is, and it is. It is a conscious effort to move in that direction, I would say, right? Like, you have to, let's say, for lack of a better expression, work at it to achieve it, kind of thing,
100%.
And so with your work, and as it relates to gut health, Geri, so we're talking about intake as far as, food and drink and things like that. And then we're talking about, the energy flow as it relates to, it could be either meditation or Reiki. Is there anything else as it encompasses the holistic approach you do and serve to people that you help? Is there anything really missing from all that?
No, I think I say, like, with me in my practice and even what I do on a daily basis, like I said, is try to eat high vibrational foods that are going to feed your different chakras, feed the energies in your body, but also feed the gut bacteria, the ecosystem. It's going to help with the gut-brain connection and keeping your digestive system and your digestive tract healthy and running smooth and at its optimal level. So I'd say, like, it's the whole holistic approach, right? It's the breathing, it's the exercise that you need to do, it's the meditation, being present. It's really important to have good, clean water and good, clean, healthy food. Because if you are ingesting foods that have like pesticides, herbicides, and fast food foods, like, it's going to bring your vibration down, and it's going to also not help you in your health, right? It's going to cause inflammation. It's going to throw off your gut bacteria. You get dysbiosis, and then mental health snowballs, right? So I think it's like that whole holistic approach of being healthy as possible, right?
And that's great. And I think what you're saying is important in the sense that the way that you put it across, the way that you explain all this, can actually be done without medication, right? Like, you don't have to have, maybe you take a supplement of this kind of vitamin thing or whatever, but you don't need like hard prescriptive medications to like heal gut related issues. Is that right?
Like, I'd say I'm not opposed to Western medicine because it saved my life when I almost died. But it's definitely helpful in short. Sometimes you do need medication short term, and I'm okay with that, right? To get you to a place where you can get off medication, where you're healing yourself through the natural way, through food, through the whole holistic approach, through supplements, etc. So, but yeah, you can most definitely be vibrant and have a healthy gut and a healthy body without medication. So,
well, that's positive, because I think, unfortunately, in our times, it seems like the only remedy that people, adhere to have to do with taking a type of medication that they get too reliant on, and then go down a spiral of just numbness, So it's good to know that that doesn't have to be the case. And I'm curious how, like, I'm sure sleep is important in all this. What do you recommend to adults? Like, at least a healthy pattern of sleep, like going to bed at a certain time, waking up at a certain time. what do you recommend in that area?
Absolutely, sleep is like crucial for healing the body, right? There's research that's been done that shows that people that don't sleep as much or like have interrupted sleep, when we're sleeping, we have this thing that happens in our body. They're called NK cells, natural killer cells, that get activated as we're sleeping, and they come in and they swoop away sort of all the toxins and all the, the cells that like can cause disease. So it's really important to be able to have good deep sleep to be able to heal the body. My suggestion is getting a good 8-hour sleep. Some people need I'd say 8 hours sleep, but some people may need a little more. I find that I feel good with 10 hours, right? But getting that restful deep sleep is just crucial for healing the whole body and gut health and producing the melatonin, the serotonin, and all that as well, right? But having a routine, I guess, turning your technology maybe off an hour before and getting ready for you to unwind.
No, that's great. And honestly, I wish I could sleep 14 hours. That would be my
14 hours you'd like? Yeah.
I want that, I would just, I'm just so hardwired a certain way, just of being a machine all the time. And but that other side of me is like, get in the bed and never come out again. I just, there's just like this jealous other side of me somewhere that lives in that, the aura of my body. And it just says, hey, be a bear and never come out of your cave, So
you need more relaxation methods, more breathing, more meditation, and binaural beats to calm you down and have some good sleep. Once you get good deep sleep, you may not need as much sleep, right?
Yeah,
quality sleep.
No, absolutely. And when you do sleep well, when you do sleep deeply,
when
you do, really wake up feeling so refreshed. You can take on the world. Literally, it feels like that.
Completely.
It's amazing. And Geri, this has just been a really, really informative episode and really, scintillating conversation. Just absolutely important. I hope people just really, really dig deeper and know more of how this topic can really change their lives and connect with you, obviously. And just my last, question to you is like, how important, because I think for me personally, like having a practice of gratitude daily really does kind of that reflectiveness throughout the day of being grateful has really changed my life and just made me a happier person. How's that play an integral part of what you do and help teach people in your...
For me, like it's part of my practice, a gratitude journal, being grateful, because the more that you're grateful, the more you get back in a healthy way, in a vibrant way. You keep your vibration up. So for me, it's like always important to tell my clients to practice that and incorporate some sort of like routine in their lives that's gonna just keep them sort of, I don't know what the word is, but just gratitude is so important.
No, that's great. And I think it's, however you teach your clients to do that and however they appropriately, because we're all unique, incorporate that in your life, you can really make a huge difference. Absolutely. And it's so important. So Geri, where can our listeners and viewers connect with you, work with you, and just really change their lives with you? Where can they find out more information about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty active on Instagram, so it's just ga.nutrition. And then if they want to just see more about reading about my story, about what I offer, my programs, it's just www.geriaraus.com. You can find me there. You can always DM me through Instagram or send me a message. They can email me too at info@geriaraus.com. That's another one. If anyone has questions or
Excellent. And so all viewers and listeners, all spear lifters, please check Geri out. She can really get you on a great course in your life. Just in a holistic way to make you feel better in every, aspect of your life, whether it's, spiritually, energetically, nutritionally, everything, just as it relates to gut health, as it just relates to overall well-being. And I encourage you all to please check her out and connect with her. And thank you so much again, Geri. And we'll actually include all your information in our description below, so you can check that out, viewers and listeners. And thank you for this amazing episode, Geri. And we hope to see you again.
Thank you so much, Devin. This has been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And we'll see you in the next episode, Spearlifters. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.